don't know that we've seen this in any of the others. And this is always happening, right? A lot of times you don't see behind the scenes of what's happening, but, sound and lighting and stage and, logistics of audience walking in. A lot of times there's like, okay, you'll get cued from this person of when to walk on stage and all these little things, right? You often don't see those. And here you actually get to see the audio engineering and lighting, playing with and changing things up, trying to get the best, the best quality for the presentation. Hey, what's up? A-Aron here, and I'm going to be including this intro into a series of videos for Fly Me to the Moon for Angelina Jordan. Now, you see my background is not my normal. I'm on vacation shooting some videos, trying to get through the rest of my vacation time for you. And I decided to lump all the Fly Me to the Moons all together, similar to what I had done for At Last. So I'm going to include this intro, and you can see there's quite a few here from Fly Me to the Moon from ages 8 and 9, and that's what I'm going to cover. Now I'm going to sequence them, and we're just going to go from the top down because they all look like performances with one exception, or two exceptions. There's 2 rehearsals in there. So I see a rehearsal at the age of 9 and then another rehearsal for Little Big Shots. So we're going to invert the order for the rehearsal for Little Big Shots with the show. Other than that, we're just going to go sequential. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, include this intro for all of them, and then I'll number which one we're doing so that you can watch all of them. It's a lot of different Fly Me to the Moon, so it should be interesting to see, what differences she has, how she progresses, and so forth. I don't know that they're necessarily in order or sequence, so I'm going to do my best to try to understand what kind of developments she has in them or not, or whatever. I've only reacted to the last one here, at least listed last, which is from the Hemnesbotten Fjord Festival. And so, that was just fantastic. And it looks like it's the last one here, but let's go ahead and get started. Right to it. Okay, I think this is going to be reaction number 104, if I'm not mistaken, if my math is correct after doing all these together. But nevertheless, this is a rehearsal of Fly Me to the Moon. So let's get to it.
I live in Germany. I have American television. I saw you. On television. I'm a big fan. Don't I? The view! That's it! Look. Take her. People say I look like
Wow, so, here we see like a fan, obviously at this age, she's already a big fan, right? That she has, big fans. You see Angelina's just humility, just, she's just such an amazing being. And then she goes right back to it. I mean, what a professional already, at this age. Is it just me, or does that voice...
I live in Germany. I have American television. I saw you.
She sounds a lot like Whoopi Goldberg, but I think Whoopi Goldberg at this time would probably be like 55 or 60 years old. So maybe that is some kind of relative living in Germany. I don't know the origins of Whoopi Goldberg, but maybe she's some niece or something. But it sounds almost just like her, especially when she said, "I saw you." Almost a deeper voice.
I live in Germany. I have American television. I saw you.
Yeah, that right there sounds so Whoopi.
Television. I saw you.
I feel like that's from a movie scene or something. Anyway, it's clearly not her. But it does even sort of look like her. Not quite, but yeah, let's get to it. So Angelina counts it out here. And kicks off the band, so we know who the leader is. So, yeah, I think this is the latter part of, I mean, it shows she's 9 here, which makes a lot more sense because we see her, you know, some of that tone that we talked about changing in some of the other rehearsals. I think it was mainly rehearsals, and one performance, The View, I think it was, she had that. But, you know, even though she counts out and she's locked in, you hear that more straightforward tone on the first couple notes, and then she changes it again. Yeah, so on Moon, she starts to, and then right after that, even more so back to that tone. So I think she's at this point where she's really experimenting with what works for her. So really straightforward, Fly Me to. Yeah, right there, let me play. So it changes quite a bit. So beautiful. I think we heard some speaker feedback on the guitar there. I'm not going to go back. I think I went. So she decides to keep it short there. I love you. And I love how the arrangement of this goes down to I love you, by the way. I don't know if I have commented on that before, but I always like that. Because it kind of brings it back a little bit before she belts at the end. Yeah, much shorter. Ooh, those lights are terrible. And from this angle. So we've seen a couple variations of that and, Jupiter and Mars. Here she does it slightly different again. And then you hear the mic change here. So somebody's doing something with the sound mixing, which makes sense. This is what you do in a rehearsal, right? You tune things, you change it, right? And I don't know if they're doing it with the lights too, but I hope for the live performance those lights changed, right? But yeah, you hear it change. I think it's right about now. Yeah, they're playing with the lights. So here you can see a perfect imperfection, as you guys call them, where she falls a little bit flat on that top note. And I think she just has a quick, subtle, I'm frustrated with myself moment, which you do not see from her often. Even at this age, she's such a perfectionist and performer, right? Professional. Yeah, I mean, okay, so maybe not so visibly, but like she opens up her eyes there and just I don't know, I can just sense her frustration. Like, how could I mean, it's a rehearsal, but she's so clearly hard on herself and has such a high bar that I'm sure she hears that her pitch is off slightly there, and she does adjust it. But gosh. Yeah, she opens her eyes right here. Yeah, she's like, oh, maybe it's just me, but I can just sense her frustration on that. So maybe it wasn't as visual as I thought, but yeah, I mean, again, another, just it's really cool to see the rehearsal though, because now I don't know that we've seen this in any of the others. And this is always happening, right? A lot of times you don't see behind the scenes of what's happening, but, sound and lighting and stage and, logistics of audience walking in. A lot of times there's like, okay, you'll get cued from this person of when to walk on stage and all these little things, right? You often don't see those. And here you actually get to see the audio engineering and lighting, playing with and changing things up, trying to get the best, the best quality for the presentation itself. So that's really cool. And you get the audience member who is just super excited to hear this already young star. And, for me, the rendition of it is just kind of right in between of trying to figure out what that right tone is for her. And you know what? Maybe she changes it every performance. I don't know. She has the vocal chops and technique already to be able to do that. So as always, a joy here. And thank you much. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so. We will see you in the next one.